Smell skunk? I think I can smell a skunk out here. I'm not even kidding you. Grass is too tall to know if he's in front of me or not. I guess we'll find out. So I know what you're thinking. What is all this? There's dirt, there's burn piles, stuff is ripped up, there's trees. What's going on here? Well, to tell you guys the story, I need to go back in time about 3 weeks to when I first started this little project. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Out here on the field today because I have another large project to start, and I'm hoping this is the last large project of the summer. My goal was to be in here working on this project, by June 1st, and here it is just about August, and I'm just finally now getting time to do it. So that's pretty much, normal. But I have this little hollow in here that I need to do some clearing in. Look at this. This grass is as tall as I am in here. Like I say, full on jungle mode. I was hoping to get in here much sooner before all this stuff really leafed out and got thick, but is what it is now. So we have a depression in here that collects water, always gets swampy in there. It's always wet, it's always holding water. It's difficult to do much in here. That's why really nothing ever has been done in here. So what I want to do is clear off this little rise right here, this ridge, get into the ground, see if there's anything usable in there, see what the rocks are like, just see if a guy can do much with it at all. If that seems to be good ground, I'll strip topsoil, take that little ridge, put it in the hole, and then I have a lot more clearing to do over here. My big center rock pile's on the other side of this clump right here. I'd like to get all of that stuff out of there, and I also need to cut a little road that goes kind of right where that little bit of a clearing is. I need to cut a road that heads back up to the main part of the field over there. Back up here on the main field now. There's my big rock pile, and we were just down below the pile, down below or behind all these trees down in here. We'll come out to where I want to have that road basically access the field. Come past my equipment here. Right about kind of where these trees are right here, I kind of want to have kind of an access area that goes straight down through that area and gets down into that little bowl, that hollow down in there. So there's going to be a lot of trees to take out in here to get me some kind of a path that I can run equipment through. So it's going to be, boy, the bugs out here. Hey, look at this. We got a turkey feather here. Anyway, it's going to be a whole lot of work, a whole lot of clearing. And like I said, it's a jungle in there right now. It doesn't look nearly as bad before all the leaves are on the trees, but I've waited till late enough in the year now. It's going to be a heck of a mess. I'm really going to be opening a lot of it up as I go and cut this stuff down. But we'll get up here on the large rock pile, have a little bit better view. So I know you can't see much. I'll stand right here next to all my barbed wire. I know you can't see much now, but most of all this vegetation out in front of me is slated to go away. So now that I've laid out the plan, I've got quite a lot of work ahead of me. I'd really like to use this little hollow in here, maybe even for a pole shed, like a building site eventually for some storage. First I need to get in there and see if it's any kind of ground that's even usable. The thing that scares me about it is this ground is so rocky and can be so miserable once you break the surface that it doesn't look like that hollow was really used for much back in the day when they used to be farming this full time. And any ground that they did not use out here, usually it was for a reason. So maybe I'll get into it and learn what that reason was. I don't know. But you don't find out if you never get started. So now that you know what I'm trying to do here, we'll come alongside the burn pile, right about to the spot where I had the tripod set up initially when I hauled the first fork load of branches into here. loads later, it looked like that. Next order of business was to get the access road cleared up to the other side of the rock pile over here. So we'll just take a walk up that real quick. And I've also got my road pretty well cut in up here as well. You can see these are the piles of tops and trunks and trees I need to haul out. I'll be digging out stumps like that. That's just tag alder brush stumps. Those will come out pretty easily. Up in here though, all the little stumps from all the little trees that I cut, I left extra high so that I could see them above the grass, because everything in here, grass brush, is all waist deep. But I've got, like I say, pretty good road opening cut up through here all the way to the fields. So we'll just take a walk up that real quick. As you can see, here's the hollow. Burn pile was just back over there. So this is nowhere near passable for passenger cars yet, and I don't have any good road base down. Really no gravel, but I did get a pretty decent right of way through here where I can get the tractor in and out without any trouble at all. And this is where I would kind of like to have a permanent road down into there if I can ever get a building established in there. But up on this end, if you remember back from the initial walk around, there's the old disc for landmark reference. We'll just think back to what this did look like in here before I took out all those dead sumacs and that big clump of brush that was right there. Come past my equipment here. Right about kind of where these trees are right here, I kind of want to have kind of an access area that goes straight down through that area and gets down into that little bowl, that hollow down in there. So I use the Kubota with the backhoe right about in here to take out that big main clump. Ended up ripping all that out by the roots. So far, that's been a pretty good investment. I've used the heck out of that backhoe out here, and even a little bit with the bucket and the loader. So far, it's been performing very well. So with the access road established, I was able to come down in here, start stripping topsoil from this little ridge over here. And we're down in the bowl right now, down in the bottom. And you can kind of start seeing the lay of the land a little bit. It's a fairly tall ridge that runs through here. And so far, I haven't been finding any horrendous boulders. I did take a few off the surface, but got in here with that backhoe and scratched a whole lot of topsoil off. I kind of cut down the middle first and then cleared it all that way, put it all in a pile right there where it can just kind of sit and rot down. It's out of my way. And then I went and did the other side and kind of made this berm over here. So we're down in the bottom of the bowl right now, and like I said, all of this topsoil here and all that stuff right there is going to be pushed this way. I brushed out a lot behind the big rock pile up in here. So my plan is to stockpile all that stuff right up in here, out of my way. I'm right down in the bottom of the bowl right now. So once I can get all this debris out of here, then I will go and continue scratching and taking all the rest of this topsoil and this old dead grass and everything. All that's going to get stockpiled up in there too. That's a good spot out of the way, so that once I can get it all scratched down to good dirt and get all the junk off the top, I can start pulling material from that ridge, start bringing it on in here, start to build all this up a little bit. And when I was pulling brush out of here this morning, I did find this rock, kind of another nugget. There's quite a few of these out here. This boy was laying on the surface about right there. You can see some of the moss. That's about all that was sticking out of the ground. And these things are like icebergs. They're always larger beneath the surface than what they look like from what's exposed, but that's pretty much normal out here. Getting up here again to the edge of the main field. Now this is about where I was walking when I did the initial filming before I started doing any clearing in here at all. I still have a lot of this brush here that has to be ripped out. That's not the main priority right now. The main priority is to continue on, get that ridge put down in the bottom, and the bowl kind of continues along here. I'll probably be scraping topsoil here, moving that way, and then it's time to get, after that, it's time to get that brush out of there, scrape all this topsoil from this rise here, and again, try and use that as fill. Trying to get some kind of a flat bottom in here, or maybe even something that drains away and then drains back into the woods. Maybe be conducive to being a building site for like a pole barn someday. I don't know, but that's the plan. At the very least, I can make this a little bit more usable piece of ground, even if I decide not to put a building in here. So that's kind of a goal too. So let's take one last look up on the rock pile. We'll reference everything to what it looked like about 3 weeks ago before I even started. Just kind of take a look here. Remember back to the before shot. And here's what it's going to look like now. Take the same spot here next to the barbed wire, and you can see there's been a lot of vegetation ripped out of there. Kind of starting to see the lay of the land in there now that some of that grass and that brush is out of there. A lot more to rip out in here. Like I say, a secondary priority for now. Keeping those two little bur oaks right there for the time being. Kind of like them. Really don't want to have to take them out, but I'm thinking they're going to be on the edge of where I'm going to be filling, and it's not good to fill right up against the trunks. It's probably going to kill the trees anyway. We'll see what it looks like when I can actually start pulling fill material in, start filling that bowl, but they might end up going yet. We'll see. Gonna save them if possible, but I don't know. They might end up going. So that's what I've been busy doing in my spare time out here for about the last 3 weeks. Fortunately, Senior's been keeping pretty busy tearing down that Super M engine, and he's been keeping the video feed going on the channel, so that's kind of really taking the heat off of me, because I really can't video everything I do out here every day because it's so repetitious, it's so boring. It's just cut brush, cut trees, dig stumps, throw the burnable stuff in the burn pile, strip sod, and repeat and repeat and repeat. You can't video all of it because it would just get boring after a while. So I've just been pecking away out here, and like I said, next step's going to be hauling the D2 out here. Probably the first day with decent weather coming up here, I'm going to be loading it on the trailer, getting it up to the field. We'll start pushing topsoil off to the side so that we can strip some more. So anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back again.